that snow crab or something. No, it wasn't. It was
Oh, it's
that
the Japanese spider crab.
That shit
6
fucked
foot
my
long
world up.
arms. Imagine
12
that coming
feet.
at you.
12 feet. And they were like,
Jackie has just toppled everything on her desk.
Definitely ghosts. Definitely ghosts.
could be ghosts. Could be ghosts. If there are ghosts, one, hi, hello, let's be friends. Let's be nice. You know, we can have a shared space. I'm okay with that. But like, as I would ask for any roommate, let's respect boundaries.
I'm excited to see what kind of ghost stories we're going to see along Hollywood Boulevard, if we're going to sort of go into the golden era of the silver screen, if you will, and talk about like Hollywood starlets and like murder cases. And
You got me stuck on my existential crisis every time I talk about the Fermi paradox again. like on how, if the explanation is that we haven't encountered any other being.
The greatest city in the world, Los Angeles, California.
I don't agree with those last statements. Let's I think this is the episode where we say like some of the hosts' opinions are not representative of the entire podcast. It sounds like it's a walking tour. You know LA better than I do. It's on, what did I say? It was Hollywood.
Yeah, which is where everyone goes to go walk the Hollywood Boulevard and this walk of fame, the stars. But it's kind of like one of the grossest parts of LA. It will smell like pee the whole time. There will be trash and noise and pedestrians and tourists. And at times, I say analytical loosely because I am also dumb, but I just always find an excuse
skeptical.
Skeptical. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. And I don't know. And that's the thing. I don't know about ghosts. I feel like that then Hi, welcome to We're Experts Now. I'm your co-host, Rebecca.
I'm Jackie, and this is a happy holiday season to you listeners. We hope you're all enjoying your cozy weather and about to start a nice new year.
And to all you Scrooges and Grinches, a very dour humbug to you.
Yes, I love that to my people. Thank you. And if it is, if you're Wiccan like me, happy Yule, folks. There's lots of holidays this season, and we love them all.
We love them all.
I do know that. Did I give you that envelope with our intentions that we set last year at New Year's?
Oh yeah, you did.
So we're gonna have to open those up soon and see how we did on our intentions. Unless you already did.
I'm like, I gotta find them. I'm like, did I throw them away because I was terrified of reading them?
You threw away your intentions? That sounds about right.
I think they're in my backpack somewhere. Not a metaphor at all.
Well, in real time, it's the beginning of December. But when you're listening to this, I think this is like coming out right around Christmas. So happy holidays to you folks. Bex and no, wait, I was talking about Nashville. The Nashville episode is happening around Christmas. This is happening in January. So I hope everyone's
Happy New Year.
Nailed it.
And that's how we're welcoming in 2024. Yeah. A little surprised. Okay. We weren't ready for it.
We don't even know what day it is, who we are, what are our names. But yeah, happy 2024, folks. We made it. Yeah.
Election year. Woo.
Ooh, that's rough. I don't know. Do you have any intentions for 2024?
I do have intentions to have intentions for 2024.
This year. You're not going to throw them away. Yeah, you're going to hold on to those intentions. I haven't done my goal setting yet for 2024, but by the time this episode airs, I hope I have. Yeah. I hope I have a little bit of insight. I
want mutual funds.
Okay.
Because so far I've just had exclusive funds.
Okay. All right. You're going to work on those mutuals. All right. I hope I am not dying alone. You know, that's really my intention for 2024. But so I actually, when we are recording, the activities for this episode are around Christmas for us. we are going down to the LA area to spend time with my family, my family's family. So my sister-in-law's family, Bex is joining me. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna meet my uncle.
Hollywood.
Yeah, we're gonna meet my uncle David, and then on Christmas Day, Bex and I are gonna leave the Orange County. Okay, we're gonna leave the housewives and their hairdos behind,
Sure.
and we're gonna head on up to the city, to the big city.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Well, first we're going to go to some Burbank brunch and have a lovely little time with some chosen family and of mine and see a little bit of North Hollywood. And then we're going to probably go right into the heart of Hollywood.
I am really excited for this trip. This is going to be the weirdest Christmas I certainly have ever had. We will do Christmas Eve with my family, which will all be very normal. The brunch is going to be great, but it's going to be different. It's going to be not with my family or my partner's family, because I think that's the only time I've not been with my family on Christmas, is like when I've been with my partner's families. But no, we're going to go hang out with some other folks, and then we're going to go on an adventure that night. And this is a tie back to a much earlier episode. And if I really, really, really drag out this long enough, I can say that it was episode 8.
Wow. That was like magic. It was like a Christmas miracle.
So episode 8, and what episode are we on, listeners?
30 something.
No, I think we're higher. This episode will be, I don't even know what this episode will be, actually. I think this episode's going to be like 50.
No.
Oh, should we make this episode our 50th episode? Happy 50th episode, everyone.
Well, this is a one to remember. It's what do you call I don't know, cinquental?
I think now we're going to have to do something special for our 50th episode. This will be 51. How about that?
Great.
Wah, wah.
Sorry.
But that's how far we've made it. 43 episodes back. We did ghost hunting. Oh God, that makes me feel old. 43 episodes back, we did ghost hunting. And here we are. And you know what? We probably recorded ghost hunting over a year ago, because that was, although we launched in March, we started recording in like October of 2021.
22.
No, 22. Thank you. Isn't that wild?
We've passed a full anniversary of when we started.
We won't hit an anniversary of when we've been out.
When we launched.
We are coming out episode.
Until my birthday.
Oh, we should have had the coming out episode as...
Now we're getting so symbolic and meta. But you know what? It's because we care.
Okay. And we're going to go ghost hunting. We are going to go on LA Ghosts. They're going to LA hosts for some LA ghosts, and I am thrilled. It sounds like it's a walking tour. You know LA better than I do. It's on, what did I say? It was Hollywood.
Yeah, which is where everyone goes to go walk the Hollywood Blvd and this walk of fame, the stars. But it's kind of like one of the grossest parts of LA. It will smell like pee the whole time. There will be trash and noise and pedestrians and tourists and way too much traffic. It's going to be the real LA experience.
So the Times Square of LA. Can't wait, because we know how much I love that.
But they didn't have enough to make a square, so it's just a line.
I hate your jokes sometimes.
It's the truth.
Yes.
It's truth in comedy.
Yeah. So we're going to do the ghost tours, though. We're going to do this on Christmas, which is like probably the most pagan thing I've ever done in my life. One of our past guests is going to join us.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to go. I mean, this is someone who wants me to believe in ghosts, and I'm just a skeptical, logical, jaded, analytical person at times. I say analytical loosely because I am also dumb, but I just always find
I
an
was
excuse for
skeptical.
skeptical. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know. And that's the thing. I don't know about ghosts. I feel like that then implies some sort of like mm, implied morality in the universe. And I don't necessarily know if I believe in like an afterlife. So, how could there be ghosts? And then, maybe with like thermodynamics and preservation of energy, yeah, maybe your energy has to go somewhere. But I don't know about ghost entities. But I'm trying. I want to be convinced. So, hopefully this person and you will join up to spook me and haunt me and make me a believer.
Listen, I don't necessarily believe in ghosts. I just don't not believe in ghosts. Like I am like out here just being like, listen, can't it all be true? Like maybe there's some ghosts, maybe there's some heaven, like maybe there's some reincarnation, and like it just kind of like depends on like maybe it's not even karma, maybe it just depends on your belief systems. I don't know. I can say that there has been some weird experiences and like unexplained things for people, for myself, for people in my family, for friends. And there is just like, I've always felt like there's just things that we can't understand. Now, does that mean that science will one day explain it? Like, there used to be a lot of stuff like freak rainstorms they used to not be able to explain, but now it's like, oh, that's like a high pressure that's moving into a low pressure, like, right, like whatever it may be. Like, I think there's a lot of things in the past, like mental illness, we used to be like, oh, you're possessed by demons, or oh, like you're something's just wrong with you, not oh, you're experiencing a mental like ailment. So is it possible that we will understand some of the things that we attribute to ghosts one day as being something else? Maybe. But I don't know that yet either. So I'm open. Uh I think I told the story last time about Simon. My no, that was my growth. What was his name? Oh, I forgot. I used to have the ghost with the pearl. Like, did I tell you that
Oh
story
yeah,
already?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And there's that time with the ticket where I got that ticket on the anniversary of my dad's death outside of the other man who I like had been a father figure to me's house after he had died and I hadn't been there in over a year. Like, there's weird things. And when I called the police station to be like, I wasn't there, they're like, we haven't used that ticketing system in 3 years. They went out of business. So like there's been some weird shit. Like, how the fuck did I get that? I don't know. Like, there's no way to explain it. Like, the post office like meant to send it, and it just sat in the mail for 3 years. Like, it makes no sense. But they post dated it like 3 years in advance. It makes no sense. But I don't
Definitely
know.
ghosts. Definitely ghosts.
Could be ghosts. Could be ghosts. If there are ghosts, one, hi, hello, let's be friends. Let's be nice. We can have a shared space. I'm okay with that. But like, as I would ask for any roommate, let's respect boundaries. Okay.
See, that's how I feel about
Um,
aliens. And aliens, I'm like, yeah, for sure, aliens, and let's be nice. Let's, be roommates.
Would you
I'm
rather meet a ghost or an alien?
a ghost.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on the ghost. Like, I feel like I could communicate with the ghost. Like, I feel like humans always think that like aliens can understand us, and I think that there's going to be some communication problems. Um,
Yeah, but at least you're guaranteed some level of advanced technology if they've mastered space travel. But yeah, it would be impossible to
what if
know
they
what
haven't
starting
mastered
point.
space travel? What if they're just like psychic beings that can blink in and out of existence?
Then I don't, that sounds high level as well. That sounds high level as well. I
That's
think they'd
essentially
have
a
some
ghost, I think. What I just explained.
space ghost. Yeah, space ghost. And I say I would rather see a
Fuck
ghost because
no.
I'm like, I want to believe, which I guess is what you usually say about aliens, but I already believe in aliens. And it's like, I want to, be
I believe in
incontrovertible
aliens.
evidence.
I don't know if they're here. Do you think they're here?
I mean, it's the Fermi paradox, we'd be
Family.
stranger if they weren't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um.
But But I'm excited to see what kind of ghost stories we're going to see along Hollywood Boulevard, if we're going to sort of go into the golden era of the silver screen, if you will, and talk about like Hollywood starlets and like murder cases and
You
the
got me
irony.
stuck on my existential
Oh
crisis
boy.
every time I talk about the Fermi paradox again. Like on how, if the explanation is that we haven't encountered any other beings, is that every other beings before they've reached intelligence to understand that other life is out there, that have had a catastrophic event, and that we are the only beings to have lived long enough to have the intelligence to understand that there are other things out there and we might be able to talk to them, but we'll never get to talk to them because they all die before we get that chance, is like the most hollow, like it's just the saddest thing. It's the saddest thing.
Well, we found evidence of forms of life in space, like water, and we it's
Microbes,
just
yeah. Mhm.
yeah. So it's just like, whether our timelines will or have already overlapped is a bit above my head, conspiracy theory wise. But also, like, there's been a lot of things with the military and government confirming certain sightings and activities that just flew over our heads. We were like, yeah, we kind of we can't care right now. Like, we've already confirmed aliens, and people were just like, yeah, next thing on the news cycle, what do we got?
Well, we confirmed. Okay, no, we're not going. Okay, back to ghosts and ghost hunting. I'm getting out of my existential crisis. I'm coming back to the planet. We're here. I'm grounded. Everything's fine. And ghosts. Elisa Lamb. I feel like that's gonna have to be mentioned, right? Like that one's one of the like creepiest. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know who that is. Is that the one who
She's
jumped
a
off the sign?
No, she's the one who was like, what was that really creepy hotel?
Oh, where she was like found in the water
The
tank.
water tank on top.
Yeah.
And like she was definitely having some like mental illness issues. Have you Stay on Main Hotel? Is
But
what
see,
it's
that's
called.
where
Have
I'm
you
like,
seen?
isn't it disrespectful to call it a ghost? Because it's like that girl was troubled, or someone was troubling her, or a medication
Well, so some of the
issue.
things are ghosts. Like maybe she was like being haunted, maybe a demon got her, maybe she was having mental illness. There's a lot of different theories on like what it is, but that is one of the like eeriest like stories of that type of stuff that I've like ever heard. I mean, if we're talking just ghost story, I don't know. Do you know any Black Dahlia? All I can think of is murders. Black Dahlia,
Yeah.
like
Well, then I also
mm,
thought of maybe the sign could be haunted because a lot of people have jumped from it, and then there was, I
how
think, the
big is the
last.
sign?
It's big. I mean, 1-2 stories tall. That's what, maybe
Yeah, but you
20
can't
at
really
least.
unless you drive head first.
Well, each letter is really big, and then it's on a cliff, like escarpment. So people like jump forward into the rocks.
Got it, got it. And we talked about visiting the sign, and now I'm glad that we're not. And also, I obviously know nothing about it.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know what we're getting into here, but we are inviting the spirits to speak to us. But we're no longer at the thinnest part of the veil. We've gotten into our winter season. For going Celtic thinking here, and we're gonna get to some other adventures as well.
We are. We're gonna do something that, I don't know if these exist like I know they exist other places in the world, but it's something that I wasn't sure like if there's like an attraction in other cities for them, but it's the Bray tar pits.
Yes, which I've never seen. So as I've been here in LA 2 years almost now, and I always hear about it. It's kind of cool. It's dinosaurs. It's well, I don't know. It's like, why is the price of gas in LA so high? We could just go down to the tar pits and scoop it ourselves.
You should try
But
that.
it's
Put that right in your car. Well, last time I was there, we drove by them. Like we couldn't like see them or
yeah.
anything, but like I remember like being like, "Oh, like that's where they are." Like I was going to remember where they are, but I
Yeah, I've
remember
been to the
thinking,
LACMA and the Museum of Film History, and I think they're right in that area. I'm not even totally 100% sure. So I know I live close to them. I'm not going to say where I live.
"Am
I live in the
My
tar
address
pits.
is.
La Brea tar pits. Dive
Um,
in.
well, okay. All right. So there's tar.
Hmm. There's
I think it's
stars.
hot. There's stars.
If you're there at night or if some famous person comes by.
I like the qualifier.
And I bet they smell, and I think you can see some skeletons.
Really? Like real skeleton?
I think it's kind of like,
There's a museum.
yeah, like, oh, this is what it would look like when the woolly mammoth was going extinct.
No, I think they're like figures.
Oh.
Like they're like there's like a fake. Like there's like a fake. Oh, we have to buy tickets, Bex. No, that's a
Oh.
museum.
Oh.
We might still have to buy tickets. I don't know. We're going to have to look into this. You and I obviously did not do a lot of research. We were like, let's go to the La Brea Tar Pits. Yay.
I mean, I'm like, yeah, we could go to a fun restaurant. I don't know what to do at LOA. We could see comedy. We could, but no, I think these are good choices because they're like on the beaten path, but off my regular beaten path.
Yes. I watched that movie or TV show La Brea a couple years ago where like LA had like an earthquake and they fell through like the land and
there's
then they were
sinkholes?
like, yeah, they like were then in like prehistoric time, which was kind of like
What?
there was a
Okay.
TV show
It's science
Lost Before
fiction.
Time. Yeah, no, that was real. You don't remember that? No, not Land Between Time. There was a TV show where like a family like fell through a tar pit or something like that, and like oh god, this is from like the 90s. I'll give up. Okay. Anyways, that's where we're going. Any other thoughts on this location?
I'm excited to see. I think we could, hope it's a good photo op, get some good pics, Denny VD selfie, and finally know what's behind those gates of the La Brea tar pits.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Okay, let's go LA.
Let's go Tinseltown.
Snow.
Feel the rain on your skin. Earlier, I started to try and sing that lyric, and I was like, "Feel the skin on," and then I just stopped. And
No.
it took me, and I was like, "What is the next word?" And then I was like, "Okay, wrong order, wrong place."
Yeah, don't feel the skin on your rain.
I tried to go with teeth. That's what I was like.
Ew. Also, why we have a saying by the skin of your teeth, I don't know. I hate that saying.
I love that you would literally go. After I said it, you were like, oh, you had to like check that there was no skin on your teeth.
There's a few sayings I hate. Skin of your teeth, skin off my back. You rub my back, I'll rub yours. Like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Like I just don't want to think about skin. Skin of your nose, skin of your teeth. Like don't.
I don't really like skin either. I'm with you. Feel the skin on your teeth. Never again. Okay, now I almost said now we're gonna do LA. And question. Do you remember the fucking ghost tour? Because like I was there.
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay, great. You're gonna have to lead this one. I brought up some facts, and then we didn't go to the fucking thing.
La Brea tar pits.
So, do we lie?
No, we didn't go.
Okay. Talk about other stuff. We'll tangent. Okay.
And the travel episodes are shorter anyway. It's fine.
I don't even fucking care anymore. So, you can bring us back this time.
Welcome back, lords and ladies, to the great esteemed podcast. We are experts now. I'm your co-host, Rebecca Buckley.
I
over
am
there.
your co-host, Jackie. We're coming back from a break. We're not.
Welcome back from the break. And we hope you broke. We hope you broke down and had a good cry because you deserve it, honey. It's
You do deserve
2024.
it. We love it.
We have been
Have been thriving.
exploring the greatest city in the world, Los Angeles, California.
I don't agree with those last statements. I think this is the episode where we say like some of the hosts' opinions are not like representative of the entire podcast. Like I'm
Mm.
just gonna be like, yeah, Rebecca likes LA. I
You
would
weren't. You
have to
didn't
come up.
thrive. You didn't
I would
thrive here.
I drank a lot for me, and I was only there for 3 days. Like it was a good time. So what? We came down. I insisted that you pick me up at LAX.
You weren't even in LA for 3 days. Yeah, I picked you up from LAX, and then we drove to an airport. That's what we did.
A different airport
We
in
drove
a
to a
different county, a much smaller airport, which
we
was
drove to the
literally
Huntington Airport.
no Newport.
Oh,
It was
Newport Beach. Newport Beach. That's right.
And we were literally right next to it. So that was, I think it's actually the Santa Ana Airport. John Wayne Airport. I know
John
it's the
Wayne.
John Wayne.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's in Newport Beach or next to Newport Beach, and we were next to it in Newport Beach. So we did that. That was fun. You got to meet Uncle David, who is going to be
So
our
precious.
last guest on the series. So you guys might already know this. I don't know what we're going to tell you at this point, but the episode before this will be Uncle David's episode. So like in opposite order of how this all went down, you met Uncle David first, and we all had a lovely dinner with my family, where we debated great topics such as ghost or alien, no other information, just
or 1,000 meters under the sea, outer space.
Yes, and there are some divisive questions, and there are some decisive questions in there. Because anyone who says 1,000 meters under the ocean is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And I honestly think that is the sociopath test.
I don't know, because it's like that is the thing we've all been primed as like a hot button issue of like, oh, we know more about space than our own friggin' ocean. And it's like, oh, we should be exploring our ocean. We should be saving the whales. So I get there's like a conservation angle to going under the ocean, but it is like, with our recent billionaire bust under the ocean, it's like we need to eat the rich. Don't be going in the ocean.
We know what's in the ocean, right? And that shit is terrifying. Okay? It is absolutely terrifying. We don't know what's in space, and it might be terrifying.
We kind of do know what's in
terrifying.
Space.
No, but like we don't know, like, okay, we don't know that there are aliens. We think that there are aliens. I'm in the boat that thinks that there's aliens, but like, are they scary? In most cases, I don't even know if they're sentient. So, they
don't need to be sentient. They just need to be a life form.
And a sentient or even like terrifying life form is less scary than what was that? Like that snow crab or something? No, it wasn't. It was
it's the Japanese spider crab.
That
6 foot long arms. Imagine that coming at you.
12 feet. And they were like
Jackie has just toppled everything on her desk. Yeah, a lot of things. So I found this app that lets you scroll down to the depths of the ocean, and it tells you like the maximum dive depth of each creature as you're going down, and it's pretty crazy as far down as you get. You've got terrifying. Jellyfish, crabs,
narwhals,
fish with no face.
Yeah, there was,
and then the Marianas Trench, of course. And how did we get here?
Because we were in Newport Beach and we were talking about these very important questions.
Oh, yes. This is the holiday questions, because we don't have normal holiday traditions. Certainly not me.
And it was almost a family ender. Like, this was the first time my family had really come together like that ever. And it almost ended us on Ghost or Alien. I'm team ghost. I would way rather meet a ghost. We don't
Team
have to go through the whole.
alien governor.
Yeah. And what was interesting is my family was more on the team alien side, but then when I met Bex's partner, Mel, and we were in with their friends, there was way more team ghost. So it was
Way
like,
more team ghost.
yeah, so it was interesting that like we were the outliers in our own families and groups, and then
Yeah.
like with our friends, we were like, oh, this works out, friends, family. So
Yeah, we're the bay leaf.
so we did that, and then what else did we do? We had Christmas at my sister-in-law's family house, where we brought up the questions again. We went down that pathway. I don't know.
We also met another past guest.
No, what did we do? Oh yes, we did meet another past
We
guest.
traumatized his son. Is that what you were going to bring up?
We did traumatize his son. I am talking about you and I's new Christmas tradition.
Oh, I am changed forever.
We are living a life a quarter mile at a time, and we are now fast and furious heads. Okay,
That's right.
Started right before Christmas Eve dinner. We were getting ready, both hungover because we'd had a real fun night the night before. Me and Uncle David tossed some back. It was great. Not toss them back. We had wine, but it felt like that. And then I was hungover. We hung out all day, and then we just popped it on. You popped it on, and we were just like, "What is this? What is this?" And then we saw The Rock and Vin Diesel fighting, and we were like,
well, I knew, because this is the one Fast and Furious movie I've seen, is Fast 5. And we popped it on in the middle, and it began a new legacy.
And it was just so good. So then, like, we had to get through all dinner. I don't even think we had finished Fast 5. No, we had finished Fast 5 before dinner, and then we went and we started with 1, and I think we got through 1 and 2 on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Eve morning, or Christmas morning, on Christmas Eve, you and I had been like, okay, what's the plan for tomorrow? We make a very clear plan for the next day. We wake up in the morning.
And then Jackie is just like a full hour behind on that plan, thinking she's on time, though. She's
I think Rebecca's rushing, and I'm like, why is she rushing me? And then I was like, I clarified at one point. I was like, well, why do you want to take your bags down if we're leaving at 11? And you were like, at 10, Jackie, to
be there at 11. But we didn't need to be there at 11. We needed to probably eat before we went, because we weren't going to eat till 3, and that was our one meal of the day. A gorgeous time with a nice heated pool and hot tub house in LA with sunrooms and hammocks and record players and a white elephant gift exchange.
Where I made peace for America with France. And that was a monumental moment. Do you not remember this?
I don't think you did make peace is the thing, but...
No, I stole because it's white elephant, and I stole the oracle cards because I wanted the oracle cards, but he really wanted the rock. And so I was like, you can have the rock and I will take the oracle cards. And that meant he got a second present. So he not only got another present, he got his cake and to eat it too. Bam.
Okay.
That is such a good reference right there.
Let them eat cake.
So there was that beautiful moment. I had so much fun hanging out with Mel and all their friends, and I was not intending to drink, and then I totally drank, and then I was really meaning to keep us on schedule, and so we were supposed to go to the Bray Tar Pits, and then I drunk and was like, do we have to go to the Bray Tar Pits? Like, because they're not going to be open. Let's just do it tomorrow. So instead, I very intoxicatedly went on the Hollywood Ghost Tour.
That's right, the Tinseltown Ghost Tour. And we saw ghosts. We almost became ghosts.
We did.
We did a few things that... Okay. It was a great tour. We didn't really know how to find them at first. We did find her. It was just like the only other... I mean, because Hollywood is crowded. That's the thing you don't expect. Yeah. You're like, Christmas, no one's going to be out on the streets. It's going to be... No, it's crowded in Hollywood, always and forever. And it's the like dingy tourist trap that I think we deserved, on Christmas night. We needed to know what it really was. And we had a great tour. We started at a theater. Was it?
Yeah, it was
No,
like
we
the
didn't.
Hollywood. It was like the main Hollywood theater. I want to say it was like
No, because we ended up at the Chinese Man Theater, of course, that has like a long history and lots of ghosty stories and sightings. And I feel like our tour guide was a little disappointed because while there were definitely people who believed in ghosts there, no one had any sightings. At like every stop, she would take us out. She's like, "Has anyone had any like spooky experiences here?" And everyone was like, "No,"
no
and we disappointed her in
El
that way. But
Capitan.
El
That's
Capitan,
where we met.
but
That's where we met.
one of our fellow people on the tour really came through because we showed up as Jackie requested, dressed in Jackie was dressed in white and I was dressed in red. And one of the people on the tour, like we were explaining it, and she was like, the lady in white, the lady in red, like she knew
Yes.
what you were going for. So that was our queen, and we love her.
Also, we forgot to get a picture, which is also hilarious because we spent all that time getting. I actually have a picture of you and Mel from behind.
Looking
I
dapper, red dress, fur coat moment.
Yeah, it was that was a great picture on if I'm just gonna like pat myself on the back. But we did not get a cute picture, which we totally should have. But yeah, I thought the tour guide did a good job. And it sounded like she had done the tour on Christmas like multiple times at this point.
Yeah.
And I was just like, respect. Like you have spent multiple Christmases out here like living the hard life, like living that ghost tour, I mean, I'm gonna be real. I was decently drunk. I am not a big drinker anymore, and I don't have a ton of longevity. And we went on the ghost tour at like 8, and I started drinking at like noon. So like I was like at the point where I was like, okay, I am drank more than I needed to drink.
There were some fun elements to the ghost tour. There was like this barometer thing that you could wave around to find ghosty stuff in like bushes, and we found it in your butt at one point. Your butt is haunted. We heard about Peg Entwistle jumping off the H, and then at the end, and we went to Hollywood High, and there was like a Judy Garland theme story. And I did ask about the Black Dahlia murder because that wasn't part of the tour. But to her credit, when I asked the tour guide, she was like, "Does anyone have any other questions?" And I was like, "What about the Black Dahlia murders?" And she was like, "What about the Black Dahlia murder?" And then I was like, "Well, now I'm unprepared because I actually was just trying to, be incendiary, but I didn't have any follow up." And I was like, "Where was it?" And she was like, "It was at the corner of this and this, and this is the history." And like she gave me a full debrief that was like just of her own personal knowledge. So loved that for her. And it was a pretty short walk, so like you don't have to actually walk too crazy far. There's like a concentration of things happening in that area. And then also there's different tours, like you could do the Santa Monica Pier and different areas. But
yeah, I mean, I thought it was like it was accessible. Like there was definitely like people of different ages. There was a couple of like young Australian chicks who I thought was like really adorable that this
oh
is what
yeah,
they were doing.
yeah, we weren't the only people doing the tour for sure.
No, there was
There was like
another couple, those two
four other
Australian
people.
chicks, us. If there was anybody else there, I don't remember, the tour guide. Yeah, and like we didn't go that far. I think we went like less than a mile. So if you are like a type of person who it's like, walking is kind of hard, like you don't want to go on like a really long tour, but like you want to enjoy like a nice little stroll, it's perfect because you make lots of stops. And they talk to you kind of the entire time. And then she like had a microphone. She didn't use it because we could hear her fine with a smaller group, but I think probably like I bet with like a larger group, you have like more diversity in the stories of like what people are saying.
She used it at a couple spots where the traffic was really loud. She used it at a couple spots, and it helped for sure.
Yeah, so like it was a good experience. I thought she really did a great job on kind of walking us through all of that. What else? Do you remember any stories that really got you?
I mean, just
Jumping off the H.
Yeah, that one
was
I'd heard
creepy.
about before. And then there was the El Capitan where they started. There was there's a ghost there, and then there was like someone who was being haunted by the ghost, who then ultimately died by suicide as well, one of the ushers. And they're like, was it because of the haunting? Was it unrelated? It just has sort of a cursed history. And then the Chinese Man Theater, there was a murder there from potentially like one of the deranged owners, and an actor that lived in one of the apartments there, and his ghost is seen sometimes, or he actually like maybe like was murdered by someone who potentially murdered someone else, who then his ghost might also be haunting the Man Theater.
Okay, I got a question. If we're saying that ghosts aren't real, okay, like this is like, despite what we believe or don't believe, right? If we are saying that ghosts are not real, how do we explain like things like ghosts, right? Because like I hear the thing where like multiple people experience something, for example, temperature drops, right? And it's like something that can actually be proved. Like, how do we explain things like that? Or like noises on recordings like that are like voice like, right? Like, I'm not saying that I necessarily believe in ghosts. I am saying that there's a lot of weird stuff that I don't know how we explain it away. Like lighting, I can kind of get. That one I can kind of be like, yeah, faulty wiring, sure. Right? Like I can get on board with that. But like temperature drops. What you got? You got something for that, Bex?
Yeah, I just think that the logical, practical explanation is more beautiful and magical, and that, all of the scientific studies done to disprove these supernatural events are the thing that we're dishonoring when we claim that they're ghosts, because we can account for those scientific temperature drops and for changes in like magnetic fields, and our eyes are made of jelly, so certain vibrational things coming from auditory emissions or from magnetic emissions, that they cause a vibration in the jelly of our eyes, that any sort of pressure will create a negative image that your brain's whole job is interpreting. So you're just interpreting it through your, whatever you're familiar with, and giving it an anthropomorphic form. And I think like it's a disservice to just accredit those to something supernatural, because like I think the natural world is beautiful in all of its inconsistencies and spectacular events.
Okay, so what about like coincidental things? Like, do you think that's all just explained by like strange experiences in the world and like coincidence? Like,
I
because you
don't
heard the story my mom
get any
telling, for
for
example.
instance.
Yeah, so like the story my mom was telling about Sean, my dad worked for a company up until 95 when that company went out of business. And that place was called Spectral Sugar. They went completely under, like it no longer exists. They were basically like their thing was sugar beets, and that was like when the drought happened in California, and sugar beets don't do well in a drought. So they went completely under. In 2001, 2002, after my father had passed, even my brother, this is like a year or two after he passed, my brother started a job at the World Trade Center in Sacramento. He was like an intern or something. And the first day of the job, he opened up a drawer and there was a Spreckle Sugar hat, which was the company that my dad had worked for that had gone under 6 years before. Right. And that's like like you hear kind of like very coincidental stuff like that often. And it's like, again, I'm not saying that it is a ghost. I'm just saying, how do those things
I guess
happen
like
in
it
there?
seems significant to you, but anytime you tell an outsider that story, it's like describing your dream to someone. That means nothing to me. Like, so what? Like, it's a coincidence. And like, it's just like your brother had a path that led him there. Someone else had a path that led them there. Like, and also, what would that mean? Like, is that a good sign? Is that a bad sign? It's only you that is
I don't know.
describing the meaning. And
It's
that's what
actually
I
not
think.
my story, to be very clear. You keep putting it on me. It's not my
I
story.
mean,
That's my
like the
mom's
teller,
story. But
like
like,
the supernatural
right.
element of it's like anyone outside of that story, there's no meaning. It's only the people
But
inside
I
of the
think
story that would
that's why
ascribe
it's
meaning to it.
coincidental, like, right? Like, because if anyone else would have found that hat, it wouldn't have meaning, right? So like the statistical, and I think like as somebody who loves numbers, like the statistical likelihood of those things happening is just so astronomically high.
I think
Right.
it's, yeah, it is high. It's high. It's a high probability, I think. That's like, yeah, it's
Like it
common. It could
No,
happen.
I
I don't
mean,
think
like,
it's
that
crazy.
it would not happen. That, like, a hat would that exist in a place for that many years and not be thrown away, and then just the person that finds it has some sort of emotional attachment to it. That is so unlikely to happen, right? Like, how many times have you started a job, found something in a desk, and be like, "This doesn't fucking matter to me," right? Like, I have a bunch of stuff in my office right now at work that was literally there when I came in there, and I have it. That means nothing to me. I literally put it in a drawer. I don't use. I don't look at it ever, and I just don't care, right? That's what I'm saying is it's statistically so unprobable that the person who comes in to find those things would have any emotional attachment to it.
Well,
And
I
I'm
think
not saying
that's
that it proves
beautiful.
ghosts, but I'm just saying it is one of those things that's hard to explain and makes me question. For me personally, I think it does make other people believe in ghosts. But for me personally, I'm just like, dude, that's fucking weird. I don't get it. That makes no sense to me. I'm not going to try and explain it. But I can see how people are like, it must be a ghost or it must be an angel or it must be like, because I think for me, I would go to ghost way before angel. Like, let's be clear. If I'm gonna associate it with something, it's definitely not gonna be an angel because I'm not that type of religious, right? I think you
Yeah.
also find what you're gonna find, or like find what associate it to what you want to associate it with. Like I'm like Wiccan, so I'm like, oh, Mother Earth just puts it here and tells us what we're supposed to say, like, right? But I don't know. That's the thing with like the ghost tour that I'm like, all these people experiencing one thing in this theater. Like it's so, and I get the scientific stuff, um, but like the coincidental of just like that guy being haunted and then someone seeing him in the future and then describing that guy, right? Like how coincidental is that? Even if it was just a trick in the eye, how coincident, like that's so odd. That's just weird and I can't explain it. And I would like to know if someone ever fucking figures this out, please write. We're experts now pod.
And
The
Christmas is the
email still
perfect
works.
time to be thinking about ghosts and spooky stuff. Don't let it end with Halloween, keep it going.
I mean, so like I like in Wicca, like of the new year is like a very also big deal, like right. So like I have been cleaning like crazy because that's also like a belief in like that kind of that culture of like creating a clean space as we go into the new year, like cleaning out the old, getting rid of clutter. It's funny because in like a lot of other cultures they do it in spring, and that's probably because
Hmm.
maybe those places like they have snow probably is what I would assume, right? And you can't be clearing stuff out in the snow. That's a pretty miserable process. But um anyways, I was just like doing that recently and I was just like, enjoying that process of like the new year. Like it is fresh. Like I've set my goals. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm trying to accomplish. I know what I want to do this year. So yeah, I'm about it. But the ghosts never go away if they are there, I guess.
Well, maybe some of the ghosts on the tour, maybe their business has been resolved and they might not be there anymore. You
Yeah.
never know.
I hope so. I think they weren't they saying that like people would see like Marilyn in one of the places, Marilyn Monroe. I feel like that was mentioned on the tour, or maybe she was just saying like that, like, and
It
it sounded like
was
she said she went away at a certain point.
Well, there was like a vanity mirror where people, when they looked in the mirror, they would see Marilyn fixing her makeup and then they turn around and she wouldn't be there. So they removed the mirror. I think that was at the Chinese Man Theater, not
I
at
think it was like a
the El
well
Capitan.
hotel across the street. She was like
Oh, yeah,
telling
the
us like
hotel. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like, and she like I think she's either said it was like a hotel that people used to stay at, or it was like apartments or condos or something. So, um, and I don't know if she said that was
But
where Marilyn died, but I
a
actually
good
don't know.
way to see, oh, maybe that was at the Roosevelt then, because
Yes, 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 yes.
yeah,
That's totally what she was
she
saying.
didn't die there. She just was like a visitor there. So she chose to come back there to like haunt that when she was with Mr. Kennedy. Well, it's a good way to see some iconic spots in LA. And like, again, a thing Jackie and I like to do is go somewhere touristy that you're not normally going to go on just like a random night of the week with your friends, but it's still like kind of fun to like see and know about. So it
I hadn't been to
was
Hollywood Boulevard in
gorgeous.
probably like 15 years, and I agree. It was such a fun experience. It was nice to see everything, hear a little bit of stories. And it also, Christmas is a great time because it was, I feel like, less packed than it could have been. And so if you like hate people like I do, like I think it was a pretty cool experience. So check it out. And check out LA. A lot of people love it. I know I'm in the more minority here of not LA lovers. I like it. It's still part of California. We're all on the same team here, but yeah, I think it's a great place. You get that sun. It was warm the entire time we were there. I had dressed too warm and I brought like tank tops. So yeah, it's a good time. Thanks for hosting.
LA, the city of dreams. It's a little bit crazy to love LA unless you're actually from LA, and then you probably hate LA, but it's an interesting place and lots to do here, lots of good food, and stay
Good
out.
food every time I come to visit, we always get good food. That is 100% true. Especially like any Mexican is going to be fire. So, all right. We're experts now on LA. I feel like we did it. We did it.
That was great. And that was the show. Thank you everyone for watching, and we hope you stay curious.
If you enjoyed this video, watch our other videos here on YouTube, or you should listen to the episode on We're Experts Now podcast. Bex, where can they find us?
You can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart Music.
And what if they want to talk to us?
If you have ideas for something you want us to investigate, send us an email at we'reexpertspod@gmail.com. That's wereexpertspod@gmail.com.
Great job on that spelling.
Ooh.
A+. Do you do this professionally?
I believe we're both doing it professionally right now.
Wow. People should know about this.
I completely agree. And you can find us on Instagram at We're Experts Now Pod.
Thanks again. And if you enjoy the show, subscribe and comment, and do not forget to leave a 5-star tip.
That's a great idea. Are you a podcast expert?
I think we both are. I think
we're experts now.
This has been a Just Being Better media production.
Like that snow crab or something? No, it wasn't. It was.
Oh, it's the Japanese spider crab.
That
6 foot long arms. Imagine that coming at you.
And they were like,
Jackie has just toppled everything on her desk.
Definitely ghosts. Definitely ghosts.
Could be ghosts. Could be ghosts. If there are ghosts, one, hi, hello, let's be friends. Let's be nice. We can have a shared space. I'm okay with that. But like, as I would ask for any roommate, let's respect boundaries.
I'm excited to see what kind of ghost stories we're going to see along Hollywood Boulevard, if we're going to sort of go into the golden era of the silver screen, if you will, and talk about like Hollywood starlets and like murder cases. And
you got me stuck on my existential crisis every time I talk about the Fermi paradox again. like on how, if the explanation is that we haven't encountered any other being.
The greatest city in the world, Los Angeles, California.
I don't agree with those last statements. I think this is the episode where we say like some of the hosts' opinions are not like representative of the entire podcast. Like it sounds like it's a walking tour. LA better than I do. It's on, what did I say? It was Hollywood.
Yeah, which is where everyone goes to go walk the Hollywood Boulevard and this walk of fame, the stars. But it's kind of like one of the grossest parts of LA. It will smell like pee the whole time. There will be trash and noise and pedestrians and tourists. And at times, I say analytical loosely because I am also dumb. But I just always find an excuse
skeptical.
Skeptical. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. And I don't know. And that's the thing. I don't know about ghosts. I feel like that then